Successful traders aren't born, they are forged. Welcome. We are talking about trading today. Trading involves risk, so please make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. Okay, I'm back. Fresh new accounts today. It was a little tough getting through last week, blowing my accounts when I was so close to passing once again. So, of course, my biggest focus right now really is dealing with the losses more effectively, more appropriately. And I ended up doing okay today. I went 2 for 3, so I did actually take a losing trade. My first trade was a winner. Second trade was a loser and actually brought me down into the negative. And then I had a really nice run on a third trade, which brought me at the end of the day to a positive 339.40. Very pleased with the net results. I don't feel like I think one of the things that I've been struggling with is because I'm kind of playing around with and testing different things in terms of my strategy and in terms of what I'm working through, in terms of what I'm looking at. There's not a whole lot of specifics in my quote-unquote trade plan. And that made it really easy for me to just continue to trade last week when I shouldn't have, right? So basically, last week brought me to a deeper awareness of this. And ultimately, as I'm going through this process, I know last week when I was blowing the accounts, like I knew I was making mistakes. I knew that I was executing things that I shouldn't execute. I was making guesses. I was, it was definitely an emotional reaction. It was pissed off. It was frustrated. It was all of the things that we experience. But what I found is that the first mistake is the toughest. The first bad decision is the toughest. After you've made that first bad decision, it's just so easy to continue to make more bad decisions as you go. So while I still am putting together a lot of the specifics, and I started to work on it a little bit today after my trading session, but really setting myself with a very specific set of rules. It's easy to break rules that don't exist when they're sort of fluid, if they're sort of just an idea, right? Even though you know you're making a mistake, you're not necessarily breaking a specific rule. So I'm working on honing that down, cleaning that up, and really getting myself into just more specifics of what I want my trading to look like. The other thing is I haven't necessarily been tracking my stats. And that's something that I know I need to do. Look, I know there's a lot of software out there that can track all of your stats, but I think there's a difference between looking at your stats for the day or the week or the month or whatever the case may be, and actually having to account for them by inputting them into a spreadsheet. So for me, I will be doing that. I will be creating a spreadsheet where I will track my average win percentage, my average win amount, my average loss amount, so I can really have a better general idea of what my numbers look like. I'm a big proponent of the fact that when you know your stats, when you have sort of that proof that if you continue to make good decisions, you will be an overall winning trader. Like I've lived in that world before, and I've really struggled with the size of the losses when I took them. So the stats were really hard to take faith in, I guess, even though I knew logically that the numbers would work themselves out. Emotionally, I struggled because I was working on a 9-to-21 risk-reward ratio. So one of the things that I'm trying to do is work out a minimum risk-reward ratio. I think 2-to-1 has to be sort of my minimum, but I'm still working out how to implement that in the charts based on everything that I'm working on. finding those opportunities, waiting for those opportunities instead of saying, hey, look, this looks like a high probability trade. I'm going to take it, but it's a 1-to-1 or a 1.5-to-1. All of this comes back to, what are my rules? And if I don't have hard and fast parameters, rules that I intend to trade by, then just having a general sense that I've broken them doesn't exactly qualify as breaking them. It makes it easier to break, which again, when you start going down that road, it becomes easier to take it one step further and one step further, and before you know it, accounts are blown. So 2 out of 3 today, ending up in a little bit of a red for the day before going back into the green. I think is an indication of things moving in the right direction. I'm pleased with today's results. Obviously, they're green. Obviously, they're a little higher than my target. I kind of want to be in that 250 to 300 range. So, exceeding that by a little bit is certainly pleasing to me. So, hey, it's great to be satisfied with your results when things are moving in the right direction. I know that there will be down days. I know that there will be days when I'm going to have to face the red and stop. And that will be the true test of all of the things that I'm working on, all of the things that I'm working towards, simply by believing and understanding and knowing that if I get the right pieces of the puzzle in place, those stats will give me confidence that, hey, if I took a losing day today, tomorrow's going to be a new day and I should be good to go. So that's really kind of where I am today. It's been it took me a couple days to kind of really just get my head back into the charts fully and completely. And so here we are. Anyway, I will be back again with some more tomorrow. As you may have seen, if you haven't, I've got a new podcast coming out. I'll have more information on that here in relatively short order, but I've got some fun and interesting, hopefully, stuff to share with you guys. It'll be the Forged Trader podcast, and I will continue to give you guys more information as I have it here very soon. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you guys. I love you all. God bless, and I will chat with you soon.